felt like we were supposed to be there, and it felt like the beginning of continuing to be there and growing in it. Cause Bonnaroo just felt like home. It felt like a city to grow in. You know what I mean? So it felt good. It felt really good.
Pocket full of posies, I pick them up, they yellow.
The way UBL, as it is now, came together was very kind of cool, man. I ran into this guy when I was on tour with my previous band, Rick Holly. Super cool, old school drummer from the 70s. So he is good friends with George Clinton. So he called up George Clinton, put a show together, and he said, hey, if you want to open up for George, I got you a spot. So at the time, none of my other musicians wanted to come do the show. And I was like, man, I got this. I don't want to lose this show because I want to play with George Clinton. And I knew UBL. I said, hey, you want to put together just this one show? You guys with a live band, 30 minutes. It'd be fun. You know, it'd be great. So we did it, and it was awesome. It turned out to be totally awesome. And we were just like, you know what? Let's keep it going. And 7 years later, here we are.
To me, after that set, getting the attention that we got, like it had always been there or something, it was just a solidifying moment. Like, oh, okay, this got to keep happening. You know, it just is what it is. We all came from different backgrounds and different stories, different bands and groups and things like that. So nobody suspected it, but immediately after that set was over, like shaking hands with people and taking pictures and stuff, it was a moment.
And the winner of the 2017 Road to Roo City Finals, $1,000, and goes next week to the state finals, Unbreakable Bloodline.
Out of 40 some odd bands, they narrowed it down to 16. We went up to Atlanta on a Tuesday night, participated in a battle of the bands. There's 4 bands on that bill. We ended up winning, and that put us into the next round. Came back to Atlanta, played round 2. 4 more bands was in that competition. We ended up winning. We go back a third time to play for the top 4. Ended up winning that competition. So we were named Best Band in Atlanta by Atlanta Rock Station 100.5. From there, we had to go on and do a state competition, which we actually came in 2nd place. This testimony here is part of our purpose. So that's why we're doing this documentary as a way of telling our story in hope that we may be an inspiration to other people. Whether you're a musician or not, we're just trying to encourage people to, follow their dreams, follow the desires of their heart, and use their God-given talents for good things.
I was devastated. So to me, in my mind, at first I was like, man, we came all this way not to get it. After that happened, we went back to, our dressing room. I was pretty angry, I won't lie. You can have a plan on how you want things to go. You can have it all mapped out to a T, to the very end. But if God doesn't see it that way, it's not gonna work that way. But just because it doesn't go your way, doesn't mean that he's like, oh, don't worry, I got something for you right here. You're still gonna get the prize, it's just a different route than you thought you were gonna take.
Well, one connection that we made that stands out the most is Tony that works for Miller Lite. It was the final round for Road to Roo. He came and he saw us perform. We did our thing, we lost. And then Tony was outside, and he said, "I need to speak to, you." And I brought John with me, and it was perfect because he was like, "You know what? You guys deserve to go to Bonnaroo. Keep that spot clear on your calendar, and expect a phone call from me in 2 weeks." And then 2 weeks later, man, Tony called on my cell phone. They made it happen for us. We're going to Bonnaroo. That was probably the coolest thing ever.
Life on. Nice long. I need you today. I don't mess with you.
UBL is everything to me. It's music, it's friends, it's family, it's putting something positive into the world. I look at these 5 other individuals, and music is pretty much like the vehicle to get us where we need to be. We love it, we want to be huge, but I think in the end, that music is our stepping stone to do something greater, to put something positive out there, to help people, and just to make a positive change.
camping together. We're all hanging out together. We're going to see some of our favorite artists together. We got to see a lot of really good musical acts. The highlight of the acts that I saw, I'd have to say U2, just because I've been a fan for so long, and you know, those guys are getting old and they still brought it. So
65,000 people shared the same goal, to come there and enjoy good music and just be around people who, you know, are just, you know, cool, loving people, man. You feel the bass and the treble and then the crowd jumping, and all of a sudden, you know, the bass hits, the lights flash, you see thousands of hands in the air, and it's just being off one musician controlling that many people. To me, that was like the highlight of it, just being in a position of all those musicians and watching that many people enjoy that specific moment.